Hey guys, it's Master Diamond here. So I've been away for a while, but hopefully I can get back into making some videos. So I've got a Block Dragon BA list today. We all know that Block Dragon's going to get hit in some way, shape or form, so I wanted to bring this list out before the ban list so we can at least enjoy it online while we still can. I believe this is one of the more streamlined lists where it has equal consistency and power instead of just focusing on one every time. So let's get into it. We got 2 Tour Guide and 3 Mathematician as our normal summons. We don't really want to go overboard with normal summons because we get so much through our deck where we will see a normal summon most likely. So we make Cherubini without using normal summon, say. So we got 5 cards in, use Cherubini, get another 3 cards out of deck, and then we Sayuja draw another 4. So we're getting through a lot of cards where 3 Mathman, 2 Tour Guide is round about enough, I'd say. You can always bump the normal summon up by 1 and play a Scrap Cycler instead, but this is the ratios I like. Then with the BAs, we got 1 Graph, 1 Seer, 1 Libic. I believe these are the only ones you need. Farther you can play as well, but you don't need it. If Dogmatica is an issue in your locals, you can play the Farther, so you can send the Farther off of a Mathematician to then play through the window play. And then we got the 1 Rhino. It's just another copy of Graph, but it's actually Earth. So then we got the Danger lineup. We got the 2 level 3s, a Nessie and a Mothman. These 3 extenders and we make Cherubini. These just 3 extenders. This makes Dweller, and then this searches any of these if it gets discarded, so that's nice. Also Mothman is very useful to use, just to empty out your hand of any bricks or any awkward cards. Then into the superior extenders we got 3 Gallus, stupid card. If you can play it, you might as well. It's an Earth. It's an Earth, it mills cards, it does effect damage, so in time it comes up. It's such a strong card. So you kind of have to play it in this deck, where you can cut it, but then you have to rely on subpar extenders, which aren't the best. And especially if you're going a good few rounds in a tournament, you want to have as many superior extenders as possible. Then we've got a psychic package of 1 tracker, 2 wielder. They just summon themselves when you control level 3 for free. And wielders a tuner, so you can go into a high 5x play there, which is very nice to then get your recover from deck or to get another wielder from deck, so you can just start link spamming, or you can get the recover like I said and make that beast. So then we've got the additional level 3 extenders. We've got a Gelasaurus, a Reclusia, a Sabers, and a Sea Archiver. All these fulfill their role. Gelasaurus, when you go first, is a 3 extender just like Gallus. But if you do go second or your opponent has a monster in your graveyard through like a hand trap, it's not the best idea, especially because most of hand traps are tuners, so it just gives them the play for Needle Fiber on their turn. But it's still an okay extender. We've got Reclusia, 3 level 3, like I said, with all these. But when you go second, there's a nice interaction with Cherubini where it is worth playing it, because you summon it to Cherubini zone, and then no matter what, that Reclusia is staying there. It can't be destroyed by card effects, so you target yourself and target the card in your opponent's field, destroy both, but because Cherubini protects it, it stays on the field, and it's a card that demands a response, which I'm a very big fan of. Sabers, we take the bricks out of our hand and put them back in the deck, and it summons from grave, and you can also send it to a grave using Rhino, which comes up occasionally. And then we've got Sea Archiver, 3 level 3 extender, just summon to a link zone and you get your level 3. And that's either player summon to a link zone, so keep that in mind. Then we've got a small package of 2 Rescue Ferret, 1 Dockscaper, 1 Recover, 1 Giant Rex. So what this package does is, if you see a ferret, when you get into Sayuja, you summon the ferret off of Sayuja, use your ferret's effect, shove it back into the deck to then summon these through. And then from here, you got a few choices. You can make a Curious with all these three. You can make a Nat Beast, and then go, say, summon Recover back, go banish Rex off of Gigantes or Block Dragon, bring it back, then make Curious, or they just use it for extra link plays. What I like to do is summon these three, make the Needle Fiber, summon out Wilder, and then at some point bring back Recover, banish Rex, bring that back, and closer to the end of the combo, to make Nat Beast, and we use Dotscaper as just a free extender. You can use Lingeribo with the Dotscaper so you can be protected by traps, but it's not required. It's a nice card which you can swap out the Needle Fiber for, but I just prefer the more options available using the Needle Fiber than the protection from the one Lingeribo. So then we got into the level 8s, we got Hydrolander and Gizmecha. Very solid cards. Hydrolander, you don't want to see more than one of it really. You can see two and like a tour guide. As long as you don't go and get interrupted, it's fine. But I'd never want to see more than one because it just clogs up hands way too much. So just playing the one is more than enough. You see it more than enough because you draw and just go through your deck so quick. Gizmek is there so you can make your Dingisu a lot more frequently and consistently, because you can send this off of Curious or something like that, or just mill it off of Dante, and then you just make your Dingisu, which protects your whole field. Then we got 3 of the Band Boy, or soon to be. He's a second Dragon Ruler, but better. Keeps on coming back. Searches whatever you need. Searches your win condition, which is your Fossil Diner. And then you got your 3 Gigantes for your other search targets, but this does too much for every other deck. If Adamantipator never happened, this deck would still have Block Dragon for a foreseeable future, because not many people play this deck, so it won't get as much traction. So we won't have a target on its back per se. So let's enjoy it while we can. Gigantes is very nice. It's a body on the field and it doesn't go neg in Earth advantage. Sounds stupid when I say it, but you banish an Earth to summon it, and then that Earth goes to grave. So in your graveyard you don't lose your Earths for your Block Dragon. Then it also has an effect when it gets destroyed in battle. It's a heavy storm, so that's very nice in more control matchups, where the Fossil Dine doesn't do anything, but the Gigantes puts in a lot of work. Especially if your opponent doesn't read cards and it just goes off all the time. You play with 1 brick in the deck. You send this off of Mathman so you can make your Cherubini turn 1, and that's round about it. Not much else. You can summon it off a Needle Fiber, I guess, for extra extenders, but it's not needed. It's there for Mathman. In 2 spells, we play a Foolish and a Second Light. Draw 2 cards. It's one of the best effects in the game. Foolish is probably the second best spell card for this deck, so you're not going to see Second Light that often, so playing the other spell doesn't conflict much. And the best time is when you see your first battle and you mill your Second Light, because you can still use the second effect of Second Light, even though you got a spell engraved, but you can't do a draw 2 effect. So that's the list. I think it's around about 40 cards, if not, it's very close. And then we into the extra deck. We've got 4 Exceed monsters. We've got Dingisu, Dweller, Levier, and Dante. Don't really need to explain much with these. Dante mills. It's a stupid card for this deck. Just fills up your graveyard and also recurs 2 BAs from your grave back to hand. So you keep that hand advantage with Sayuja cycling them cards out back into the deck for more useful extenders. Levier brings back your Fossil Diner from your Banish Pile, or just brings back any level 4 or lower monster from either player's Banish Pile, which does come up occasionally, where you can just summon this, bring back an extender, go off, and then summon the Fossil Diner through a normal summon or a Sayuja. Dweller, kind of need to play it in this format. Very good against most decks. Just shuts them down for a turn, and if it survives, you can shut them down for your turn as well. So I'd say it's needed. I mean, the Dingirsu protects your whole field twice, and if you go second, it also removes a card from your field, non-targeting sending, which comes up a lot. Then we got Link 2's got Cherubini, IP, High Fibrax, Ursa, and Phoenix. Phoenix, don't need to explain it, every deck needs to play it. Ursa is there, so it's a Earth spellcaster, so you can use it for Curious quite often, using that Block Dragon, Giant Rex, Gigantes, Escaper, any of them. Against certain decks, you can reborn monsters from their graveyards, like in Adamant's Pit, you can use it and summon back one of their tuners, which is nice, or you can bring back a, say, Gamma, the Magnet Warrior, I think it is, and then that's your level 4 for a rank 4 play, bring back a tuner for a Happy Fireback play. Just bring back basically anything, or you can bring back a Cerberus, and then just make a 2-meter Appaloosa from there, which still is pretty decent, but especially when you're breaking through the board, where the Appaloosa will just start eating through the negates. And then also it gets to show a battle card effect. You get to search for any Earth monster from your deck, basically, where it just searches either Mathman, Gallus, or any other extended you really need. I think there's only 1 or 2 cards you can't search off of it, which are Earth. High Fireback is there just for extension play, like if you go for recover and Rex into this, summon out your Wielder from deck, or your O-line if you need it. And the idea of summoning the Wielder from deck is because you use your special summon off a Sayuja, so you need to have another way to bring out a Fossil Diner, so the best way is to go with Leviair, and that gives you a level 3 for Leviair, so you only need 1 more level 3, which after this play it's kind of easy to do, because you probably will draw to a Gallus, or like a Tracker, a Crusader, Crucia, have Sabres Engrave, or just trigger a Sea Archiver. All of them get you there. And it's just a very nice card to play, and I brought it so I might as well use it in the deck. IP is there to make you curious, and if you don't have the best board going first, you can just summon it and go into Unicorn in your opponent's turn. And it also protects the monster it summons, so if you summon this, and then go into a Avamax, it becomes a lot harder for them to out it. And then Cherubini, just lifeblood of the deck, send a level 3 from deck to grave for cost, and protects everything it points to with by card effects. Then we've got Link 3's got Curious and Unicorn. Curious, you send your Block Dragon from deck to grave, or any other extended you need. And then Unicorn's there to break boards. That's about it. Then we've got Link 4's, we've got Sayuja, draw 4, put 3 back, and a special one from hand. Very strong, and also very nice arrows for you. Then we got 2 proxies at the moment because the Megathins haven't come out to make things cheaper. But we've got an Appaloosa and a Avamax. Chose these cards because they have the same zones as them. Appaloosa, you want it on your end board because Eldritch outs the board very easily, because you just pitch Eldritch, send the Fossil Diner, and then they haven't really got much else to play through. What they really care about, because they can play without spells, they can play and then just get through the Dingirsu pretty fine. Pretty sure they can get through a Avamax as well most of the time, but the Appaloosa's there just to mitigate that. Then the Avamax is here so you can protect your Fossil Diner from battle, because sometimes you can't get to that second level 8 for your Dingirsu, so you have to make that Avamax and then summon the Block Dragon. And then Avamax is just it's a bitch to deal with for most control matchups, especially if you summon it with IP. If you do that, then there's very little your opponent can really do to out it, unless they go and have a negate and then also have a large monster, which with your end board you can normally just stop them enough where they can't get to that point, so they can't out the Avamax, and it can't be targeted as well, which just comes up so much. And then we got the Nat Beast. We don't like spells. Spells are very good. This guy says no to spells. Not much else to say. And it's very easy to summon in this deck. If you see Ferret when you get to your Sayuja without seeing all the other pieces, summon it for free. If you summon Wielder, then go for high fireback, something that recover that way. That's another way into it, because you search the Gigantes off a block dragon, and then that's your level 5 synchro. And it's just a few other ways to do it, but this is the most common. Yeah, it's a stupid card, very strong. So that was the profile for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see other decks. I might be able to get together a few. I might be able to get like a format deck together if possible. And let me know what you want to see. So like, comment and subscribe, and just stick around. See what we can do. Alright, take care.